watch a video on the meanest versus the nicest celebrities. Let's see who is the nicest and the meanest. Let's go!
Who are the 5 nicest celebrities and who are the 5 meanest?
I can tell you who the meanest one I ever met was.
Oh, here we go.
Her name is Ellen DeGeneres.
But while all the evidence points to Ellen being awful, Adam Sandler is always highlighted as being incredibly kind. Take, for example, the time he was refused a table at IHOP after the server failed to realize it was Adam Sandler asking. Embarrassed, the server shared the CCTV to TikTok, prompting Adam Sandler to meet with the waitress personally, while joking about the rejection by stating, "For the record, I only left the IHOP because the nice woman told me the all-you-can-eat deal didn't apply to the milkshakes," although fans were impressed for a slightly different reason. It's very humble of him to not assert that he's a celebrity and ask for special treatment. He acted just like a regular customer and didn't challenge anyone. I respect him for that.
Okay, I think we can stop that there and we can say that that is definitely a legitimate statement there. We have seen so many videos of Adam Sandler just being an absolute gent. I personally can't think of any video, anyone that has said that he is not a nice person. You know, he doesn't see himself as a celebrity. No way. No way. This is Adam Sandler. He's an absolute, he's an OG boss. And he's even if he was, he's bypassed that now. He's over into the veteran league. That's my opinion.
With his humble attitude extending to wedding photo bombs, and that time he randomly appeared for some chicken.
Hi guys.
No way. No way. You're joking.
He filmed
I mean, I like the way that the guy's already filming, then goes, "No way. No way." Like he knew that he was coming in that door. Do you know what I mean?
good chunk of Mr. Deeds in my hometown, and he was simply the nicest man ever. He would come out to sign autographs after a full 14+ hour day of shooting. Didn't matter how long the line was, he made sure every single person got to say hello. He had time for photographs and chats with everyone in town, frequented all the local coffee shops and posed with employees. He seemed to really care and know how excited we all were to have a movie happening and always had a smile, although
That's
Adam's
huge.
fans are the only people to talk very highly of him.
You guys love each other. Is that fair to say?
For sure.
Yeah. I hear each of you individually talking about the other in such fond terminology.
Yeah.
After Pete Davidson worked with Adam Sandler on Saturday Night Live, Pete went on to state he's just such a cool, nice guy. I can't explain how wonderful of a person he is. Just like caring and sweet and not full of crap, which is very rare to find. But while Adam Sandler's happy on-screen mood clearly extends to his personal life, Mike Myers from Austin Powers is apparently much different when the cameras aren't rolling. Twitter users exposed Mike Myers as an absolute nightmare to work with. The article referred to a tweet reading, "Mike Myers had me fired off the set of The Love Guru because I made eye contact with him and I was there as his bodyguard." The tweeted,
No. That can't be real. Mike Myers had me fight off the set of The Love Guru because I made eye contact with him and I was there as his bodyguard. What? I'm sorry. How does that even make sense? I don't get it. Lana says, Adam Sandler is so funny and seems so down to earth. He does. Yeah, he does. He's making Happy Gilmore too. I know. That's going to be freaking awesome. All right, let's carry on.
been posted by a person named Jay Brody, who then expanded on the incident in a podcast.
You'll be basically guarding Mike Myers' trailer. They're like, here's the catch. Can't look at him. But I realized, like, I can't let just anyone into the trailer. So I look up, I catch his eye for a second. I give him a nod to let him know I'm cool. And then I look away, and within an hour, I get a phone call letting me know that I'm fired and I have to get off set.
Prompting others to give their own anecdote.
I'm sorry. What? This isn't a thing. You can't look at Mike Myers, or you get fired. Wow. Okay.
It's about Mike Myers' terrible attitude. I was an extra in Love Guru and remember being told we can't make eye contact with Mike. When I tell people this, they don't believe me. Thanks for confirming.
Oh my God.
People always wonder why there weren't more Austin Powers movies, but never realize how many stories there are like this about him. Basically, no one wants to work with the guy, with one of these other stories coming from the set of The Cat in the Hat, where Mike's co-star Amy Hill stated his area was all covered with tenting because he didn't want anybody seeing him. It was so weird, it was just the worst. I was miserable. Hill also revealed how Diva Myers selfishly kept everyone waiting for hours, overruled the director, and even had someone standing by, just holding his personal chocolates in a dish.
There's no way this guy has his personal butler hold his chockies in a dish. I mean, that's the top tier, isn't it? You don't get any higher than that. I mean, you know, we've all got goals and dreams, and having a personal butler hold my dish of chocolates. Woo! Goddamn! Mommy, I made it! Sebastian over here, gonna hold my chockies. I don't know if this guy's going through a hard time. I don't know. I always try and see it from their side. I'm like, maybe he's just extremely anxious and, you know, he hasn't got any confidence. But then you would look at his films and be like, well, he's got so much confidence, you know. But I think the mind automatically goes to the other side and it's like, no, he's just being a... I don't know. Scott says he is an absolute... I don't know what it said because it started out, but it sounded like a swear word. Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe he's really socially anxious. I don't know, but I mean, being socially anxious doesn't mean you need someone holding your personal chocolates. Maybe that's exaggerated. I always say, I mean, this is a lot of people saying the same thing, but I always say, you know, make your own judgments when you meet certain people. I don't know. Maybe he was having a bad week on the maybe Love Guru is going for a divorce. I don't know. You know, maybe he was going for a very tough year. We just don't know. We don't know. Let's carry on.
It was just a horrible, nightmarish experience, although people have only ever said the opposite about Steve Buscemi.
Of course.
Buscemi worked as a New York firefighter before quitting to pursue acting, although when the Twin Towers were destroyed on September 11, Buscemi walked into his old fire department to volunteer, working 12 hours a day for a week straight in the hopes of finding survivors. He called his old firehouse, then receiving no reply, headed to the site, where he found his former engine company.
Wow.
I asked if I could join them, he said, adding I could tell they were a little suspicious at first, but I worked with them that day. It was a privilege to be able to do it. It was great to connect with the firehouse I used to work with and with some of the guys I worked alongside. No, this was in 2001 after he was already extremely famous from movies such as Fargo, yet according to an independent article on his volunteering, very few photographs and no interviews exist because he declined them. He wasn't there for publicity.
Of course.
Wouldn't you think you were hallucinating if Steve Buscemi helped you out of the rubble? What a great humble guy, with a Reddit comment then offering a slightly more personal story. I used to serve him all the time and he never once was a diva. Always had a smile on his face, and I mean, I don't even think he once had a complicated order. He always ordered the most simple thing on the menu and always tipped 20+%. Not to mention Buscemi gets extra credit for being close friends with Adam Sandler.
Extra credit. I mean, like, this is great. I mean, look, you obviously know that these two are friends, but it's like, you know, good friends, good people stay together, right? And you know, I mean, he's obviously a massive community guy as well, and I don't think I would be too shocked if I was, you know, in a huge disaster in a big city in America and seeing a celebrity that's a nice celebrity pulling you out the rubble. I'll be like, oh yeah, because he's a lovely guy and he's come down to help. Like, I don't think it would shock me. Like, do you know what I mean?
Sandler. However, it seems Jerry Seinfeld was left out of the party.
Do you know what? I really hope that there's a James Corden segment on this. Didn't you? Because there's been so much about him, and I want to see what people are saying. Obviously, everyone's going to jump on the bandwagon and say he's a but isn't he trying to be the nicest guy now that he's been ruled out as being a complete... Like, all these, like, fake sort of, you know, I don't know, fan moments where he's like, oh my God, thank you so much for coming out. Oh, great. Oh, let me sign that for you. Oh my God, have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye. And it's like, yeah, you seem nice, but it's like, is it real? Like, I've seen a few videos and I'll just, you know, jump to the comments as always. And it's like, yeah, okay, we see through that. Do you know what I mean? Like, Sean says, Corden is 100% I can't stand James Corden. Never liked him. Wow. I bet they are hilarious in a room together. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's carry on with Jerry Seinfeld and see how much of a is.
And every clip of him I've seen outside of his shows is just him being an unlikable douche with an ego the size of a small country. This sentiment began with a Larry King interview from 2007.
I went off the air. I was the #1 show on television, Larry. Do you know who I am? 75 million viewers. Last episode.
What? You don't take it so bad.
Well, that's the big difference between being canceled and being #1.
Okay, I'm sorry. B-movie opens.
Can we get a resume in here for me?
B-movie opens tomorrow.
Although this attitude extends into other moments like the...
That was freaking awful, awkward. That was freaking awkward, man. Oh my God. Pipe it down. Pipe it down, mate. You know what I mean? Jesus.
Time he rejected Kesha.
I love you so much.
Oh, thanks.
Can I give you a hug?
No, thanks.
Please?
No, thanks.
A little one.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Oh.
Oh my God, no. Oh my God. What? I'm sorry. That is so awkward, man. What? You just, I mean, and again, people get socially awkward. He clearly doesn't. He clearly doesn't. And if he ever tried to claim that he did, he does. It's false. No way. Oh my God, poor Kesha.
That was a nice moment. I don't know who that was. Yeah, it was Kesha. Okay.
Jerry then offered no apology for rejecting her.
I don't hug a total stranger. I have to meet someone, say hello. I need to know, who are you? No, and she was very nice about it. We laughed about it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you hug?
We laughed about it. Yeah, I'm sure you freaking basically awkwardly stood her up on live television.
Hug her afterwards?
No.
No.
Leading Kesha...
Yeah, he's definitely arrogant. He's definitely arrogant. I'm sorry, what a prick.
to change her mind about him for pretty obvious reasons.
What happened with Jerry Seinfeld?
Oh my God. Are you friends with him?
I am not.
Okay, we're good. It was like the saddest moment of my life.
Jerry also has a reputation for destroying the paparazzi.
The worst place, like you bomb. I'm sure comics go through all the time. Another very weak question.
And after Lady Gaga was moved to his luxury basketball box for acting rudely at a game, he had this to say.
This woman's a jerk. I hate her. I can't believe they put her in my box, which I paid for. This is what you give people the finger and you get upgraded? Is that the world we're living in now?
Hysterical, I love him.
Jerry Seinfeld's meanness definitely has a charisma to it. However, if you're wanting a more...
Yo, come on, chat! Oh, give me the hype in the chat. Oh my God, I did not know Posty was on here. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, Posty! Let's see all the amazing interactions that Mr. Post Malone has had in his career. He is honestly my favorite artist and just an absolute genuine, absolute gent. I'm happy about this. I really am. Let's go.
Humble type of charisma. Then we have to talk about Post Malone. With entire compilations dedicated to him treating other people kindly, there are almost too many wholesome moments to choose from.
Did you draw this? This is awesome. I love you too. Thank you.
Yeah.
There was that time he went out of his way to greet a 21-year-old having his first beer, or that time he gave his $5,000 guitar to a fan after a concert.
You want a guitar? Yes. It's like a $5,000 guitar, so you have to promise me. You gotta promise me that you're gonna take care of it later.
The little girl, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, little girl, yeah.
Post Malone treats paparazzi in the...
So I don't know if you guys have seen the one where he trades his Converse with someone in the crowd, which is just freaking awesome. Everyone else is like, what? And he like takes his sweaty old Converse off. He's like, oh, we're doing a trade? Okay, that's great. Let's do it now then. And just like trades over, and she's like, oh my God, I got Post Malone. I think he signs him as well. Freaking awesome, man. I love the bloke.
The opposite way to Jerry Seinfeld.
Boss, I want you to know that I really like your music. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, that means a lot to me. Can you say hello to Nicole? Well, hi, Nicole. Love you guys.
And when this fan somehow made it past security, Post Malone hugs the guy and treats him respectfully before he's taken off the stage. In a different instance, Post Malone let a fan come on stage to play the guitar part in Stay, and it's therefore no surprise that
when I see him in London, we see him again this year as well. He brought 2 people up on stage, one who played guitar and one who was singing, and they did stay as well. And then Post coming at the end is freaking awesome, man.
Fans have told anecdotal stories such as someone in a similar thread said Post moved into his brother's street and went and introduced himself to all his new neighbors and invited them for a barbecue. Genuinely sounds like an awesome guy. I believe this 100%. He had a party at an Airbnb or something a few houses down from my group's Airbnb, and he legit went around the cul-de-sac himself inviting everyone to the party.
No
he
way.
also spent the
I didn't hear
entire
that
night
one.
moving between groups, chatting and generally being a phenomenal host and ensuring everyone had a blast. 10 out of 10
Yeah.
dude. But
Did it
while
just make you love
nobody
him
has
more?
anything negative to say about Post Malone, it seems nobody.
Oh no, we're moving straight on. I just have to say, I'm so happy that they've done a segment on Post Malone. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, it's pretty obvious. He's the nicest guy. I will say something though. The media tried it once. Do you remember when the media tried it once with Posty? It was when he was really high outside of like a concert out the back or something, and he was slurring his words and he was just really high or really drunk, whatever. And the media tried to get him and be like, Post Malone being drunk and high out of the thingy, being rude to someone or something like this. And he wasn't at all. And the comments and the feedback was, this guy is never horrible. He's never this, but what are you trying to do? And it shut them the up. That's what I'm saying. It shut them the up. They tried to get a little bit of heat on good old Posty, and you can't. You cannot, because he has been raised correctly. That is why you would never get heat on this guy, because he is just such a genuine gentleman. Love the bloke. I love that, Sean. Okay, we got Chevy Chase. It's Chevy Chase, his name, isn't it? Let's have a look.
He has anything positive to say, anything negative to say about Post Malone. It seems nobody has anything positive to say about Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Remember when Pete Davidson praised Adam Sandler earlier in the video? Well, Pete had the opposite to say about Chevy Chase, stating, he's a hate that dude. He's just a genuinely bad racist person and I don't like him. Chevy Chase was fired from Community after calling Donald Glover the N-word, not to mention—
What? What? Did we just hear that?
like him. Chevy Chase was fired from Community after calling Donald Glover the N-word, not to mention before the firing, Chase was simply difficult to work with.
He was someone that did not want to be there for the hours that we were keeping. He sometimes could be in not great moods.
Earlier in his career, Chevy Chase had gotten into a fist fight with Bill Murray, and while interviewing Robert Downey Jr., Chase stated, "Didn't your father used to be a successful director? Whatever happened to him? Boy, he sure died, you know, he sure went to hell."
Oh my god, what? Oh my god. Wowzers. Whoa. That's... damn.
It's therefore no surprise that even Will Ferrell stated, "The worst host was Chevy Chase." Yet Chevy Chase foolishly claims that all criticism is just jealousy.
Did you just say that writers writing anything negative is jealousy? Yeah, I did. What kind of jealousy? I'm funnier than them? Yeah, I guess maybe. I'm considered good looking? Yeah, there you have it.
It seems Chevy Chase needs a lesson on humility, and who better to teach it than Shaquille
Oh, here we go.
You gotta humble yourself.
Shaq, baby.
Humility. And that's why I am where I am now. I humbled myself. I don't look down on people because they're lesser.
Back in 2011, Shaq had hit rock bottom. He'd retired from basketball, divorced from his wife, and had no idea where his life was going next.
I was lost. 76,000 square foot house by yourself. No kids. Go to the gym. Nobody's playing in the gym. You go to their room. Nobody's there.
It was during this period that Shaq's mom Lucille gave him some advice.
And then the queen, Dr. Lucille O'Neal, said, "Hey man, I don't know you no more. You need to humble yourself." And when mama talk, a true man listens.
After which Shaq began working on becoming a better person.
You know what? Every single, obviously, he does amazing things for a living now. You know, every single video you see of Shaq is just wow, incredible. Oh my god, this guy, it's just one of, like he said, he's now a humble guy. You know, he's now a humble guy. You know, something was shifted. He said that his mum said something to him, but bro. Take a leaf out of that book. 100%. I know a few people that need to do that. Goddamn.
He'd state, "The day I killed the narcissist Shaq is the day my kids text me, 'Hey daddy, I miss you.' Bro, when I got one of those texts, man, I actually cried then. I didn't know what to say. After I got that love from them, I said, you know what, I'm not gonna be the asshole Shaq no more. Cause I was an asshole and I lost everything. The day I released all that me, Shaq is the day the blessings opened up. As a result, Shaq's been trying to create a fairly unique legacy.
Talk about legacies, I want mine to be one sentence. Shaq was a nice guy.
Which has been aided by his random acts of kindness, purchasing bikes, shoes, and laptops for less fortunate children. It seems the only people Shaq won't give money to are his own kids.
Because I believe in respectable nepotism. You get all A's this next semester, you can get whatever you want. So he gets all A's, and I was like, go to the dealership and pick one. Then I get a call from Tesla. I said, man, you better take your ass across the street to Honda.
But while Shaq is
I like that. I personally like that, man. Anyone else agree with that? Does anyone else agree with that? You gotta bring them up right, innit? You gotta bring them up right. Do you know what I mean? You can't give your kids everything. You cannot give your kids everything. I think there's a saying. It goes, "Give your kids what you didn't know, not what you didn't have. Give them your knowledge, not your money." And I really like that. And we are definitely doing that with our children. 100%. Give them what you didn't know, not what you didn't have. They can work their asses off as well, like we had to. Bruh!
An obvious choice as a nice celebrity. Someone you might not expect to be rude is Bill Nye the Science Guy. I met Bill Nye as a kid and he was the biggest asshole I've ever met.
Just a little interjection here. No idea who he is.
It was a huge letdown after watching his show so often in class. My science teacher from 7th grade told us she had an explanation for why she tried to show us as few Bill Nye videos as possible. I believe she said she attended either a science workshop or an event for teachers where Bill Nye was there, and he was completely rude to her and dismissed her the whole time. Bill's dark side becomes pretty obvious when he debates other scientists. However, it seems he becomes the meanest when talking to his most popular demographic, kids. Bill Nye came to visit my university. I was sorely disappointed. Bill Nye relied on sexist jokes to relate to the crowd. He kept complimenting women's legs and saying weird stuff about how sexy women are. He was trying to be relatable, but was sorely mistaken as he faced a crowd of driven female engineers and scientists. He went on about climate change and basically insinuated that we could be the policy changers while the real scientists did the real work. I couldn't believe how much my views of him were falling apart as I watched him pander to students he clearly didn't care about. I later heard that he wouldn't speak with students, only professors, with this anecdote following the very common theme of Bill Nye was my hero until I heard him talk. Although thankfully...
Well, luckily no one really knows who Bill Nye is. It might be an American fella. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but that's like the wrongest. Is wrongest a word? The most wrong way, the not correct way that you can stand up and talk to a crowd of people is to assume that you know their thoughts and their opinions. You cannot jump down a rabbit hole not knowing. You have to be, again, go to humble. You have to be authentic. You have to be yourself. That's why you get invited to these things, all right? That's why you get to speak. That's why you get to do this stuff. Is you speak from the heart. You don't, because he said he was trying to be relatable to the kids, where clearly he's very outdated and wrong. God damn, man, you got to stay true to yourself, man. God damn. Now, we know for a fact that this young man right here is one of the best, one of the nicest, and I've met him personally as well. But let's see what the internet has got to say about Mr. Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is the perfect balance between good and evil. While filming the second two Matrix movies, Keanu Reeves chose to give up $75 million worth of his movie earnings, instead redirecting the money to the special effects team who he said deserved it more. Even then, this might not have been his most charitable act whilst filming. As a Reddit user stated, a family friend builds movie sets, doesn't design, is one of the poor dudes that just builds. Anyways, he worked on the set for The Matrix, and Keanu heard about family trouble he was was having and gave him a $20,000 Christmas bonus to help him out, although money isn't the only thing that Keanu has given up. In 2011, he was candidly filmed giving up his seat on the New York subway, and 3 years later in 2014, he waited patiently for 20 minutes in the rain outside the wrap party of his own film Daughter of God after a mix-up because he didn't want to cause a scene. He didn't say, "Hey, I'm Keanu Reeves," or "Yo man, this is my party," once to the bouncer, and the owner of the club was horrified when he found out afterwards that the actor was standing in the rain. It's therefore no surprise that there's an...
So this just kind of, I don't know, solidifies the idea that he really hasn't got that self-confidence, and he is, you know, he doesn't want confrontation, and he would never deem himself as a celebrity. He's a quiet, shy guy. He's shy, you know, and to the level that he wouldn't even speak up and say, "Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry, but oh, this is actually the party that I'm hosting, or this is my party." Like, even just to say it kindly, he would rather just wait. Like, I don't know. I that's like beyond being nice. Like, so nice that you don't want to put anyone's nose out of joint, and that you are harming yourself. Really? Standing in the rain for 20 minutes, freezing your ass off, and all he had to say is, "I'm so sorry to be, you know, inconvenient, but this is kind of my thing that I've invited my friends to." "Oh, sorry, man. In you come." You know? But, you know, he is who he is, and he's an amazing guy. Let's carry on!
Extremely popular subreddit dedicated to Keanu Reeves being awesome, although if there's one person who could offset this kindness with meanness, it's definitely...
Hang about. No. Don't do us like that. If there's one person that has the perfect balance between nice and evil, it's Keanu Reeves. Sorry, where's the evil, bro? Where's the evil? There is no evil. Don't try and drag us along like that. There's also another fact that he gave out the stunt crew for John Wick 3. I think they all got like 50 grand freaking Rolexes or something like that. But I met him at the premiere for John Wick 2, and we all got, you know, sent to, well, the meeting point was a secret location within a hotel. It was like in a freaking secret room, like a basement room. And Keanu Reeves was turning up to say hi to us all. Like, we were creators, influencers, actors in the industry, whatever, and he was going to come down, chat to us and talk to us about the film, get some pictures and stuff to post on social and do a little bit of promo. And I don't know, me and about 6 people, we just had a conversation for about 15-20 minutes with him, and he was, mate, it was just like talking. He was like, it was like the character in, it's Bill and Ted, right? I'm just trying to wrap my brain. His character in Bill and Ted was like, "Oh, all right, dude." He was like that. Not as exaggerated, but he was just so excited to talk to people who played games and enjoyed film, and he was getting all nerdy with some people. And I was like, this guy just loves what he does. You know, he loves what he does. He loves talking to people who also enjoy the industry of gaming, of, you know, film, of creating, and yeah, just a genuine guy. And it wasn't like there was a load of bouncers around him or anything like that, loads of security. It was 2 guys that came in with him, had to obviously escort him through the hotel. But he bowled through the door first and was like, hey guys, how are you? And just started chatting. And it was ultra chill. Really, really cool. Let's see what's going on with Ellen
DeGeneres. Right now, we all need a little kindness. You know, like Ellen DeGeneres always talks about. She's also notoriously one of the meanest people alive. Respond to this with the most insane stories you've heard about Ellen being mean, and I'll match everyone with $2 to LA Food Bank. This was the tweet that started her downfall, as nobody could have expected how bad the responses would be. When I was 15, the Ellen Show was doing a contest of fans making a bust of her and sending it to her. I worked so hard on this and even wrote her a letter. Weeks later, she used it as a prop in a game and gave it away to a random person with $500 attached to the bottom. Working for her, I was instructed that I can't look her in the eye and never ever say hi to her first. But don't worry, she definitely won't be saying hi to you in the first place. She creates the most toxic environment for her staff. Wow. I worked at Real Food Daily, served her and Portia a brunch. She wrote a letter to the owner and complained about my chipped nail polish. Not that it was on her plate, but just that it was on my hand. I'd worked till closing the night before, and this post was the next morning almost got me fired.
What the hell? She went out of her way to email the management about her chipped. Oh my god. I've heard some crazy stuff about this woman. The whole Diddy thing, the whole freaking Hollywood party things, the whole kid things, the whole Justin Bieber, like there's so much going around about her. Can we just cut the and just expose her as well? What are they waiting for? What are they waiting for? I'm sorry, what are you waiting for? Just expose her. We know you've been up to some dodgies. We know it. I don't care. I don't fall for this crap on your show, giving stuff away and curing blindness or whatever you do. It don't do it for me. No. You're an arrogant, egotistical demon is what you are, mate.
Pontius stated on Steve-O's podcast that he wasn't surprised to hear these anecdotes.
Here we go.
It's crazy that all this stuff's come out, like, about Ellen being mean. Because when I met her, I thought she was really mean. Like, and she's like, so what do I gotta do? And she's just pissed to be there. And then she comes out on stage and she's like, all like funny, nice Ellen, you know, like the person that they think she is.
And apparently neither were the 10 employees who came forward 4 months later to expose her terrible working environment.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is. We were told from the very beginning, don't talk to Ellen, don't do this, you can't go into her office. It was very nerve-wracking, very stressful. We all walked on eggshells all the time.
As a result, Ellen took a 14-week hiatus, returning with a pretty standard apology.
Sometimes I get sad, I get mad, I get anxious, I get frustrated, I get impatient, and I am working on all of that.
However, this failed to ensure a returning audience, as in May 2022, Ellen's show was cancelled completely. Who were the—
Hang about. I didn't know that. Was it cancelled because she was a freaking idiot and no one liked her anymore? I didn't know that. Like, I never watched it. Like, I knew of it, obviously.